Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Journeys Unpacked. Today, I am joined by Raki Phillips, the CEO of Ras Al Khaimah Tourism Development Authority. Raki, great to have you here.
Great to be here. Thanks, Dr. Saeeda.
You know, Ras Al Khaimah has been such an incredible journey and such an incredible story. If I look at it all the way from driving record number of tourists into the Emirates to being named one of the best places to live, how do you do all of this?
Do you know what? It's easy when you have an emirate as beautiful as what we have in Ras Al Khaimah. You're blessed with incredible topography, the highest mountain in the UAE with Jebel Jais, 68 kilometers of white sand beach and the desert. Having those three topographies together just make it easy. Ras Al Khaimah is a very welcoming place. The community, the culture, the people, the ambition. If you look at it historically, Ras Al Khaimah was an entrepreneurial emirate. You know, Raki Ceramics, the third largest ceramics manufacturer in the world. Our rock quarries with Stephen Rock. We have the world's largest reserves of rock quarries, Julfar Pharmaceuticals. Yeah. So historically, we've always been a manufacturing emirate. Yeah. And only in just over a decade, we focused on tourism. Yeah. And it has done so well for the emirate. And the reason is, one, great location. You know, we're 45 minutes away from Dubai International Airport, the center of the world. The other thing is, you know, the topography, as I had said, but also the ambition that the emirate has because it provides great livability for its people. Tourism is the greatest driver of livability, and that's why as an emirate, we focused on it.
That's fantastic. And I mean, you see the results, right? When you walk in, you see it, you feel it. Let's talk about the tourists for a second. I think today you've already achieved record number of tourists. I think about 1.3 million overnight visitors. And you're aiming to almost triple this over the next 4 years by 2030. Those are some pretty bold ambitions. Talk to us a little bit about where you see some of this growth coming from and how are you going to drive it?
So a couple of things. One, you're absolutely right. We are ambitious. Ras Al Khaimah is a destination of the future. For us, we will triple the number of tourists, as you rightfully said, and double the number of hotel keys that are coming into the destination. So by the end of the decade, I want to get to 3.5 million overnight guests and about 1.5 million day visitors. So we're looking at a number that's anywhere, you know, over 5 to 6 million. And the way we're going to be able to do that is looking at the data that we have on our customer trends and where they come from. Right now, we do a great job. Anywhere from the UK to India, we cover quite well. Okay. UK, Germany, the CIS region, the Czech Republic, those are all in our top 5, as well as India. China was an area that we started to focus on probably in the last 2 years, and today China is in our top 10 visitors. Our focus now is how do we get a GCC customer to come on board? So we've got some focus there and expand into other markets. I'm happy to say that the domestic market is 50% of our visitor base. So I like to think we are the most popular place in the UAE. But domestically, we do very, very well. And as I think as our new hotels start opening up, the attractions start coming on ground, and the way we market and promote to those customers will be phenomenal for the future.
Okay, so it sounds like domestic and
international.
And part of the international is already a stronghold.
Definitely.
And you're going to expand to the
let's say,
new markets further out in GCC.
Yeah, and we're also looking at a different type of customer in some of our existing markets. So diversifying the offering because that really replicates what Ras Al Khaimah and the UAE is. We're a beautiful melting pot of people.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. You know, I picked up a little bit on what you said earlier around the beautiful topography. You're right. I mean, Ras Al Khaimah is so unique and so diverse, you know, from the coastlines to the mountains. It's just a gorgeous place. And when you have topography like that, you know, immediately adventure, outdoor tourism comes to mind. And I know that's very high on the list in Ras Al Khaimah. So maybe share a little bit with us around what are some kinds of things that people can expect when they go to Ras Al Khaimah?
So if you take our most natural, beautiful asset, which is Jebel Jais, right? So from an adventure perspective, you've got the world's longest zip line, the Jebel Jais flight. You also have other opportunities there. So just take hiking, for example. The hiking that you do there is incredible. We have 94 kilometers of hiking trails that go across the Hajar Mountains. We've got some beautiful caves that you can discover, waterfalls. You find areas in Ras Al Khaimah that are really untouched natural beauty. And that's something that's very, very special in the destination. But if you also want to do something that's a little more gritty, you've got the Bear Grylls Explorers Camp that's great, where you can do a half day, a full day, or an overnight experience where you're really one with the mountain. And then if you want a little bit of serenity, to go to the top of the mountain, there's Camp 1770, beautiful stargazing. On a clear day, you could look out and you could see the Burj Khalifa all the way from the top of the mountain.
Really?
I mean, it's just stunning with the air and everything. So that's the mountain, right? That's
I'm booking to go there, just so we're clear.
We'll take you right now after this interview. I've got a car ready to take you. And that's a tremendous amount of stuff that we have. And we've got some incredible sustainable developments that are coming up. And then on the coastline, obviously we have a tremendous amount of wonderful hotel offerings that are there. Every hotel brings a unique flavor and taste to it. Whether it's the Movenpick on Merjan Island, or whether it's the Waldorf in Alhambra, or the Anantara overwater villas that offers incredible. And then when you go to the desert, the Ritz-Carlton Al Wadi, which in my opinion is probably one of the most beautiful Ritz-Carltons I've ever seen, with the nature reserve, you're at the pool. They're good. So you got good taste. I like that. And then you can see the wildlife that's there. All of that together makes it quite a unique destination, considering how the close proximity we have to the other Emirates, and also keeping in mind that we have Ras Al Khaimah International Airport in the Emirate that allows you such a quick experience to land and be straight at your hotel to enjoy your vacation.
Yeah. No, look, it sounds amazing, and you're right. I mean, I'm a big, big fan of the Wadi Ritz. It's one of the most spectacular properties, absolutely. But that's what's interesting is a lot of experiences that you mentioned are very can be very fulfilling in many ways. But you got to be careful, and you got to balance that, with the threat of over-tourism, as we're seeing in many, many other parts of the world. How are you balancing the two out?
I think that's a great question. I think we're blessed because of the space that we have, and because we're an up-and-coming destination. We don't have any concerns about over-tourism today, or even probably in the next decade. And the reason I say that is we're an emirate that's everyday building. I mean, and developing and offering something that's quite unique. And what I always say is we're blessed with space. You come to Ras Al Khaimah at any of our hotels. I mean, you take the Rixos and Ma'arid in Ras Al Khaimah, it's a 1.6 kilometer beachfront. I mean, talk about space.
Yeah, that is a lot of space.
So and that experience we want to definitely maintain. And how are we doing that? We've developed a master plan. We partnered with a company called Gensler. And we have a full master plan of the tourism sector of the Emirate. And it's everywhere from Merjan all the way to Jebel Jais, and all of the different tourism elements to it. And we have curated it in a way where we keep authenticity in place, we keep excitement and growth in mind. So 25 to 30% of what we're developing is green space. So you'll have parks, you'll have green corridors. The way mobility is being built is done in a very, very transformative way. And the nice thing is it's a white canvas for us. So Gensler actually told us this, that what we are building is the size of South Beach on a white canvas in Ras Al Khaimah. So you think about that. Also, what we're building on the beachfront isn't going to be high-rise skyscrapers. It's going to have a specific authenticity to it, and as you move out, you start getting heights. The goal is to make it one of the most livable cities in the world, and from the leadership down, we know that is our ambition, and we will make sure it gets delivered.
That's fantastic. Speaking of making it one of the most livable cities in the world, share with us a little bit about how you went on that journey and how you got to where you are today, and also the plans for the future. You touched on it, but maybe a little more.
I will for sure. Hey, listen, we're very blessed to be in the UAE. I mean, being in the UAE and being one of the 7 emirates of the UAE that work so collaboratively together to really enhance what the offering is in the country. Ras Al Khaimah complements the other emirates from a tourism perspective. And the reason why livability is so important to what I touched on earlier is tourism. You take the UAE, a wealthy, oil-rich country. 12% of the country's GDP comes from tourism. Over 900,000 people work in the industry, whether it's hotels, whether it's hospitality, whether it's F&B. It shows you that this diverse economy is really a big driver for people to move here. Now, from a livability perspective, there's certain elements that are important for you. Where you live, where you spend your time, and that experience together was something that we worked very closely in. A lot of our homes are closer to the coastline, so people get to experience something that's quite unique. Great connectivity is important. The schools that are there, the medical facilities. And the one thing that people love, probably more in Ras Al Khaimah than other places, is your connection to nature. If you live in Ras Al Khaimah or you visit in Ras Al Khaimah, you feel nature all around you. We look out of our office windows and we've got the ocean on one side and the mountain right there. And it's accessible. You can go from one of our beautiful resorts all the way to the top of Jebel Jis to 1484, the highest restaurant, in a 45-minute drive. But it's a beautiful drive because it's a great road network that takes you there. And I think that all contributes to what people are looking for.
That's fantastic. Again, it's the serenity, being close to nature. I think bringing all that together, it creates a very powerful place. Absolutely. If I think of Ras Al Khaimah, there's probably one other thing that comes to mind, which is the history and the culture of Ras Al Khaimah. Ras Al Khaimah is probably one of the oldest emirates. We were just talking about it, right? It's a very entrepreneurial emirate. It's an emirate that's held its own for a very, very long time and had a unique identity for a very long time. How do you combine that and take that with tourism and make sure you stay true to it, but at the same time, you're providing the latest, most innovative experiences for the residents as well as the tourists?
So as you so rightfully said, Ras Al Khaimah has 7,000 years of history. I mean, it's incredible to what we offer. 4 tentative UNESCO heritage sites. We actually identified 80 historical sites. And we're focused now on about 20 of them to make them tourism ready. A big part of what our archaeological team in Ras Al Khaimah does is the restoration part, is taking care of it. Yeah. But that culture and history comes from the origins of the people of Ras Al Khaimah and the way they are. The Raki is made up of 3 different tribes, the mountain tribe, the coastal tribe, and the desert tribe. And those tribes together tell their story in a very, very unique way. You think about it, it's a small population, 450,000 people live in Raki, but yet that culture is ingrained in everything that they do. Yeah. And I love that part, and I don't think that authenticity should ever change. We make sure that we always include all of the different parts of the tribe. So the musical, the cheering, the chants that are there, the food elements that are involved. How do we make sure that we make it prominent as a cultural sound and still focus on growth? Take Jazeera Al Hamra. Jazeera Al Hamra is a historical town that used to be, the last remaining fisherman's village. Yeah. For years, it was known as the ghost city because it was abandoned. And only about a decade ago, the restoration of Jazeera Al Hamra, actually about 15 years ago, started happening. And we ended up launching an arts festival that was there, which was the Fine Arts Festival. Today, it's called the RAK Arts Festival. And it has just brought that entire Jazeera Al Hamra area to life, where you walk through these beautiful pathways and these homes, and you see what civilization was like at the beginning, less than 100 years ago, to know how this was a pearl diving community, a fisherman's community, and how it thrived and lived is so authentic.
Yeah, to be connected to history in that way, right? Yeah. And what you said right at the onset is so important, right? 7,000 years of history. I think a lot of times we don't realize when everything looks so new and so modern, we are actually built on 7,000 years of history.
It's so important to recognize that, because the historical context of this land is so important. Yes, we are a very young nation, and we're a nation that is growing faster than most places around the world. But this nation sticks to its culture, sticks to its authenticity, and it sticks to that historical context. And we've seen other examples around the world where they've destroyed artifacts or ruins or that. And this is a place that preserves. And while this country moves at an astronomical pace, when it comes to culture and heritage, they take their time. They preserve it, they honor it, they give it the space for it to breathe, and they cultivate it. And our archaeologists that we work with have done such an incredible job in Ras Al Khaimah to maintain that.
I look forward to seeing a number of those sites when they're more restored and ready for people to come and have a look at them. So as we talk about a lot of the tourists, a lot of folks coming in, one critical component of a lot of this is also around payments. Mm-hmm. And around making sure that people are able to come in, people are able to turn their wishes and desires into reality. Mm-hmm. Because without that last bit of payment, it's difficult to convert that. So maybe share with us a little bit around how do you see payments as part of enabling overall tourism and some of the things that we've done around it?
Payment is necessary, obviously, because in order to be able to experience how you enjoy a vacation and build memories, there has to come an element of it. What we do is we track consumer spend for our tourists. So we know if you're coming from a specific region, the average length of stay that you're there, what kind of hotel do you stay in, what are your travel trends, what are your spend, are you spending more on attractions, are you spending more just in the hotel in an all-inclusive package, or are you the adventurous type that gets to go out and try to do that? And having the payment capabilities and tracking allows us to be able to curate attractions that meet what they're doing. I'll give you a very simple example. We realized that travel trends are multi-generational. So people like to travel with everyone from their grandparents to their uncles and aunts and everyone. And the other part of it is they want to be able to say, I came to a destination and I visited another country, or I visited another city. Croatia, Montenegro is an example of a place that gets to experience both. And so what we said is, how do we create a package that allows people to visit multiple emirates? But we took it one step further and said, how can we be able to have you come to Ras Al Khaimah and experience Oman while you're here? So we signed an agreement last year with the government of Musandam to be able to have people stay with us in Ras Al Khaimah and cross the border to be able to go to Musandam and have a wonderful experience. Because as beautiful as the UAE is, Musandam offers something that's a different ocean. It's the Indian Ocean versus us. But the payment method was clearly something that is so important. And we were able to align with both groups to make sure that technology and that experience ends up being seamless. Whether it was through pay in advance options, whether it's through something where you're on an all-inclusive package that includes into it. But we also added borderless travel. So if you booked this package, you were able to cross the border into Oman seamlessly, because all of the pre-checking arrivals and everything were done at your hotel. So you hop on the bus, you go over, it's a seamless experience. You experience Musandam for a day and you come back. And the way we're able to do that is because of the advancements that are in the payment systems and technology, and really working with our neighbors to make sure that we are aligned on our goals. And it was huge. It was our C Double campaign that we did last summer, and it worked out really well.
That's really cool. So how would that work? If I'm a tourist and I'm staying at the hotel, I can do
You book a package, right? And the package is one of our C Double packages. And basically, they do all of your pre-arrivals for the border crossing when you get on the bus. So the experience ends up becoming absolutely seamless.
You just drive through. You don't actually stop for too long.
You don't stop for too long. It's a much easier process. And it was in partnership between our border facilities and the Omanis, and we were able to do a great experience for our tourists.
That's fantastic. It sounds like you guys are constantly out there trying to do things differently, shake things up, and bring unique experiences.
You know, it's in our DNA. We're an entrepreneurial emirate, so that's how we get to move things faster.
Indeed, and I think in an ever-changing world where consumers and their preferences are changing so fast, you need to do that.
100%.
Right. If you're not agile,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to react as quickly as is needed.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Good. So no conversation with you would be complete without asking you about some of the big developments that are happening in the emirate. Perhaps you can share a little bit about what do you see as some of the big changes, some of the big developments that are happening, especially around the gaming resorts.
So for us, the emirate, as I said earlier, is a destination of the future.
Right.
Things are changing. The pipeline of hotels that are coming on board is incredible. We have 7,500 hotel keys currently under development that are all scheduled to open in the next couple of years before the end of the decade. So that doubles our pipeline.
Yeah.
Some of the brands that are coming on board are the W Hotel, the Nobu, so many others. The Four Seasons was announced, the Fairmont. Yeah. It's every day we've got a new announcement that's coming because people want to be able to vacation and experience the destination. And obviously, our biggest project that we are so proud of, it's a $5 billion foreign direct investment, is the Wynn Integrated Resort. Now, why is that so important to us? Is it's a 1,500 key resort that has over 22 F&B outlets. There's entertainment complexes, and it's a beautiful beachfront. So there's a tremendous amount of activity that will happen in entertainment center. But what's important is it shows the confidence of a publicly traded company to invest in the emirate because it is a JV partnership, and it is the largest FDI into the emirate by a publicly traded company. So for us, that shows the pride and the belief that this destination is going to become great for tourism. As a driver, we are looking to be able to attract a significant amount of tourists that will be very, very interested in all the attractions that are there, as well as what the emirate offers. And as substantial as the Wynn is, and we're so proud, and it's coming up at a floor a week, and every day we look at it, it's great. It's only 10% of the overall inventory of everything that Ras Al Khaimah will offer. Yeah. So for us, from the other hotel pipelines that's coming, from the growth that we're going, where we want to be to 15 to 20,000 keys, it's such an exciting jigsaw puzzle.
It is. And I think partnerships with the private sector are going to be absolutely paramount in getting you there.
100%.
Yeah. And you just mentioned a number of really incredible names that are there with you, that are your partners on getting this to 15, 20,000 keys.
Absolutely. And our focus on making sure that there is diversity in the brand offerings. Yes. A lot of our pipeline coming up is in the luxury segment, especially around the beachfront. But also when someone wants a glamping experience, you have that to offer. Someone wants someone in the premium, mid-scale, or budget hotel accommodation. That's available. And the end of the year, we're hopefully going to be able to open our first mountain lodge in the mountain. All of those are wonderful experiences that are going to add tremendous value.
Absolutely. I, again, look forward to seeing some of those as and when they open up.
Good.
Wonderful. We're going to move on to a couple of rapid-fire questions. Yeah. And I'm going to quickly read out the question and then over to you. So the first question. One word that best describes Ras Al Khaimah.
Ambitious.
Yeah. I like that. Ambitious. Okay. Best season to visit.
You know what? We are the northernmost emirate, so it is a little bit cooler. So I would say year-round. But the best season is really October to April. Okay. And if you go up the mountain, Jebel Jais, it's 10 degrees cooler than the coast.
A hidden gem in the emirate that every tourist you think should experience?
The Suwaidi Pearl Farm. So the Suwaidi Pearl Farm is the story of Abdullah Suwaidi's grandfather, who was a pearl diver. Yeah. And all of that changed when the discovery of oil, they all moved up to Abu Dhabi. So Abdullah Suwaidi took that vision and created a beautiful pearl diving experience. You go on the boat, you see the camels cooling themselves down in the water, and you go through this authentic journey of how the UAE was a pearl diving community before the discovery of oil. Highly recommended.
Okay. we're going to have to add that to the list. Absolutely. The list is growing
It's
and growing.
You got to just move there.
Indeed. Most underrated adventure activity in Ras Al Khaimah?
So I think Camp 1770, because it is the highest point in Ras Al Khaimah. And there's a beautiful camp there. The stargazing is incredible. You go there, you get to experience an authentically cooked Emirati meal from the mountain, from the tribes in the mountain.
So good.
They're so good. They're so filling.
And unique. Again.
Very, very, very unique. And then you probably do it after a beautiful hike that's been taken care. And there's companies that really curate. It's run by a gentleman called Fadi, and the company's called Adventurati. And they do an incredible, incredible, authentic experience. And the sounds that you hear, the quietness, the beauty around you, the lights in the distance, it's incredible.
It's probably still, because it's a northernmost, again, it's a little bit higher. Probably in terms of the weather, it's still okay to go there.
It is,
right?
absolutely. The higher you go up on the mountain, the cooler it gets. And it's very, very unique.
Okay. Again, another one to add to
So you can go
list.
up, we get you a lunch reservation, then we send you on the zip line. I'm telling you, Aisha, your day will be perfect.
Indeed. Your go-to local restaurant or cafe?
So lots of great restaurants, but I will focus on Ashuk. It's the oldest ice cream store in Iraq. It's decades old, but it's authentic ice cream that's absolutely beautiful. That's done really, really well.
Okay.
And it's just a little hole in the wall place that
those are the best.
Those
right?
are the best. They're authentic. Everything they do is fantastic. So I highly, highly recommend.
Which flavor is your go-to flavor?
You know what? You got to go with the local Emirati flavors. You got to go with the vimtos, or you got to go with the toot, or you got to go with the flavors that, he does saffron ice cream.
That's phenomenal.
He does things that are very, very unique. That would be my recommendation.
Highly support. Vimto
toot are the best. Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. I'm sure there's a lotus in there somewhere.
There has to be. There has to be. Lotus, even though it's a European biscuit, is far more popular here than it is anywhere. I think it's Belgium. It's from Belgium. It's far more popular than in Belgium, which is great.
Yes. Hey, you know what? We take flavors from wherever we like,
absolutely.
And then we incorporate. Yeah. That's awesome. And then lastly, an unexpected fact about Ras Al Khaimah that surprises most tourists.
That's a really good question. I think one of the things that people don't might not know is the caves and the wadis that we have. Now, you got to go with a proper tour guide that walks you through the hiking trails. But you can go into some of these hiking trails and you walk into a cave. And when you're in that cave, you'll see a waterfall that goes in. There's Wadi Ghalila. There's other places that are there. And it is mind-blowing to be transported into things that aren't. I think it is worth doing a cave tour of Ras Al Khaimah just to see these little unique spots. And when you go through some of these hikes, the Hidden Oasis is a beautiful hike. You go down the mountain and you come to a stunning patch of land in a valley.
Okay.
And it's incredible to see that this exists right at the bottom of the mountain. And then you get to go up a beautiful hike, and you end up at the end with just the most spectacular view.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So I think what the mountain, Jebel Jais, offers is unprecedented anywhere in the region, and I think it's fantastic.
And I assume that you can pick your own adventures.
Oh, absolutely.
If you want to go with a family,
you can go with kids.
That's
you
okay.
can. If you want to, we've got Stairway to Heaven, which is on the harder end. Any experience is good. You can even take pets with you. There's a lot of people that hike with their dogs, and
I've seen that actually.
Yes. And they absolutely love it. And then you get to see the mountain goats, which, by the way, are the greatest hikers on earth, because how they go across the mountain is pretty spectacular.
It is. It is fun to watch too.
It is.
Right?
It is. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, lovely having you here today, Raki. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure was all mine. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in Ras Al Khaimah.
Multiple times. It's been a pleasure. Until next time.